Cristiano Ronaldo has been in the spotlight at every stage of his life. His success was not only on the football field, it was echoed on screens, headlines, billboards. But a single post he made in the summer of 2010 resonated much wider than the football world. "I am glad to announce that I have become a father. My son Cristiano was born healthy. I have full custody of him. No further statement will be made on the matter." These few lines of explanation have left millions wondering. No magazine photographer had ever seen Ronaldo with a pregnant woman. There have never been any rumors of relationships, birth processes, weddings, or lovers. Nothing. It was as if a child had descended from heaven into Ronaldo's arms. Journalists around the world have taken action. There have been countless theories about who the mother is. An American waitress, Russian model, surrogate mother. The stories grew like an avalanche. But not another word came from Ronaldo. He was a man of actions, not words. In Spain, he was scoring goals after goals in a Real Madrid shirt. While he was bathed in the applause of the fans, he was living a completely different story at home. She was changing her son's diaper, catching up with the mother's hour, waiting by the crib on sleepless nights. Everyone saw his hands lifting trophies, but no one knew that the same hands trembled when stroking a child's head. Cristiano Jr. When he was a baby, the first sound in the morning was enough to wake Ronaldo up. He didn't have to set the clock at night to avoid being late for training. His son's crying was the most sensitive alarm. The media was relentless. There were those who said that Ronaldo becoming a father was a moral mess. He excluded the woman in order to escape responsibility, they said. He silenced the mother, covered everything up with money, they wrote, but he was always silent. He neither confirmed nor denied, because this issue was not for the world, nor was it headline material. This was just for her son. The truth is, Ronaldo's eyes filled up in that delivery room. When the doctor put the baby on her lap, she felt so vulnerable for the first time in her life. A tiny being who could not even open his eyes yet had put the biggest responsibility of his life on him. In the hospital room, he shook the hand of his mother Dolores and formed only one sentence. "This child must be protected first of all." That decision has not changed even after many years. It was to hide the mother of his son, not to hide her or out of shame. It was to give her an immaculate life, because Ronaldo could not forget the poverty of his own childhood, the fights that started between the neighborhood, the nights when his father struggled with alcohol. December Cristiano Jr., he did not want to meet such darkness. The outside kept talking, but the father inside Ronaldo got stronger every day, and this strength has made him a better person, a more determined football player. With every goal, every record, he felt the presence of those tiny hands, because he no longer lived only for himself, but to become a man that his son would be proud of. Cristiano Jr., as he grew, the questions began to grow. In the early years, Ronaldo saw only innocence when he looked into his son's eyes. But over time, curiosity took the place of that innocence. Junior, he was different from his friends at school. They had mothers. There was always a mother at school events, and hers is just Daddy, and sometimes Grandma Dolores. One day at dinner, Cristiano Jr., as he was stirring his salad in his chair, he raised his head and looked into her eyes. "Dad, why isn't Mom there?" Ronaldo was waiting for this question, but still seemed to be caught off guard. His words were knotted in his throat. He slowly put down the fork in his hand on the table, knelt down opposite his son. "Your mother loved you very much," he just said, "but we have made some decisions to make your life more peaceful." After that night, Ronaldo made a promise to himself. He was going to build a life in which his son would never feel incomplete. Such a life that he would not even question the presence of a mother in it, but the absence of a father. His house in Madrid was organized from top to bottom, according to his child. Everyone who worked at home was bound by one rule. Cristiano Jr., there was never a missing family in the eyes of. What a table without a mother. What a lonely birthday. Every detail had been thought out. But the outside world was not staying silent, especially those who are not satisfied with the Ronaldo jokes on social media. This time, they turned to his character. How does a man who hides the mother of his child become a role model? The columnists came out saying. The same question in every interview. Cristiano, why don't you explain his mother? He gently changed the subject each time. But the comment that hurt you the most was this. What will this child, named after his father, one day bear in the absence of his mother? Nevertheless, he preferred to remain silent, because if she spoke out, she could put her child's future at risk. To explain the mother was to put her at the mercy of the media. However, Ronaldo wanted to keep every difficult memory he had experienced in the past away from his son. Football life was going on, but every joy of goals was different now than before. The moment he knelt on the field and raised his hands to the sky, he was actually whispering to himself. Some victories in this life do not pass into statistics, but it leaves a mark on the heart. Cristiano Jr. He grew up, turned into a talented football player. Press interest began at a young age. One day, a reporter handed him a microphone. What is the thing you are most proud of about your father? Junior, without thinking, she replied, because he is proud of me every day. Years had passed. Cristiano Jr. He was a young man now. He was following in his father's footsteps both on and off the field. But the space inside still hadn't been completely filled. The questions about his mother did not come as often as before, but from time to time, in the silence of the night, they echoed in his mind. One afternoon, Ronaldo was to be given the Lifetime Inspiration Award at a private foundation invitation in Lisbon. The organization was small, but meaningful. The press was not invited. Just close friends, family, and a few ex-football players. The host position was taken over by an unexpected person, Cristiano Jr. She came on stage young and confident. The people in the hall knew him, but what he said that night carried a completely different weight. Today we are honoring not only a football player here, but a father. Throughout my life, he has shown me how to walk with both discipline and love. But most importantly, I understood how he protected me even in the moments when he was silent. There was a silence in the hall. Ronaldo couldn't take his eyes off his son. Junior, he continued. I didn't know my mother, but I didn't feel his absence either, because my father didn't leave a single day off. Today I want to tell you a secret. My father hid my mother for many years because he wanted to protect her, away from the media, the pressure, the ridicule. And now I know that this silence was not a weakness, but a form of love. Tears came out of Ronaldo's eyes. Of the hundreds of goals he scored in his lifetime, none was as valuable as that moment. At that moment, he had received a prize heavier than any trophy he had won in his career, being understood. When the conversation ended, Cristiano Jr., he walked next to his father. They hugged. This hug was not an ordinary moment. A burden that had been carried for decades, a darkness had now been replaced by light. That night, Ronaldo did not give an interview to any newspaper. But as he left the hall, he whispered a simple sentence. Sometimes the greatest love is preserved by not telling. And after that moment, no one asked Ronaldo about the mother of his child again. Because the answer was not hidden in words, it was hidden in silence.